Everyone knows the great white shark, that it has been called the most dangerous predator in the ocean for decades. Movies were made about it. Documentaries were built around it. Children learn about it in school. Fishermen fear it. Divers avoid it. But there is one animal in this ocean that the great white shark does not just avoid that it fears. And in every single recorded encounter between these two animals throughout all of ocean history, the outcome has never once changed. Most people call it a killer whale. That name is wrong on both counts. The orca is not a whale. It is the largest member of the dolphin family. And it is not just a killer. It is the most complete predator the ocean has ever produced in 3.8 billion years of trying. That an adult orca grows to 26 feet long. It weighs up to 6 tons. It moves through water at 35 miles per hour, faster than any shark alive. Its brain is proportionally one of the largest of any animal on Earth. And it lives in every ocean on this planet. Arctic waters, Antarctic waters, tropical waters, deep ocean, shallow coastlines. There is no part of this planet's ocean where the orca does not go. But here is the single fact that separates the orca from every other predator in the ocean. In all of recorded history, not one single animal has ever successfully hunted an orca. Not a great white shark, not a sperm whale, not a blue whale, not anything. Every other apex predator on Earth has a natural enemy. Something that hunts it, something it fears. The orca has nothing. It sits at the very top of every food chain in every ocean on Earth simultaneously. And it has done so for as long as humans have been recording what lives in the sea. October 4, 1997. Farallon Islands, Northern California. A group of researchers were sitting on a boat watching 2 adult great white sharks feeding near the surface. It was a normal day, a routine observation. The kind of thing marine biologists do hundreds of times a year. Then something surfaced next to the boat, that a single orca. What happened in the next 15 minutes was filmed by the researchers on that boat and has been studied by marine biologists ever since. Because what they watched that day changed everything science thought it knew about the ocean's food chain. The orca did not attack the great white shark the way any predator attacks prey. It did not bite it. It did not chase it. It swam directly underneath the shark, came up from below, and flipped it completely upside down. Then it held it there, still, motionless, for 15 minutes, and the great white shark could do nothing. Great white sharks enter a state called tonic immobility when flipped upside down. Their entire body goes into a paralyzed, trance-like state. They cannot move. They cannot fight. They cannot escape. And the orca knew this. It did not learn this in that moment. It already knew. Scientists believe orcas have been using this technique against sharks for thousands of years, passing the knowledge from one generation to the next like a hunting tradition. After 15 minutes, the great white shark was dead. The orca ate its liver, only its liver, and left the rest floating on the surface. But that is not even the most remarkable part of this story. After that single encounter, every great white shark in the Farallon Islands disappeared. Scientists tracking their movements found they had fled to deeper water miles from shore. An entire population of the ocean's most feared predator abandoned their feeding ground because of one orca. They did not come back for months. One orca. One afternoon, and the ocean's most famous predator ran. What happened at the Farallon Islands was not luck. It was not instinct. It was not accidental. That it was a plan. And that is what separates the orca from every other predator in the ocean. Every shark on Earth hunts alone using smell and instinct. Every other large ocean predator reacts to its environment. The orca does not react. It plans. It coordinates. It teaches. And it remembers. Orcas live in family groups called pods, up to 40 individuals moving and hunting together. But what makes this different from any other group hunting animal on Earth is what happens inside that pod. Every pod on the planet has developed its own unique hunting strategy, a technique that belongs to that family and no other. And that technique is passed down from parent to child to grandchild across generations. Not through instinct, through teaching. Norwegian orcapods herd entire schools of herring into tight spinning balls near the surface using a combination of bubble trails and precise tail slaps. Then they take turns stunning the fish with a single strike, one orca at a time, while the others hold the ball in position. The coordination required is something no other ocean predator comes close to matching. Antarctic orcapods do something even more extraordinary. When they spot a seal resting on a floating ice floe, they line up side by side underwater and swim toward the floe together at exactly the same speed. The wave they create washes completely over the ice and takes the seal with it. Scientists have filmed them practicing this technique. Practicing, deliberately repeating it until the timing is perfect. The way a sports team runs a play over and over until every member knows exactly what to do. And in New Zealand, orcapods have been filmed deliberately beaching themselves, throwing their entire body onto dry sand to catch rays resting in the shallows, then using a specific body movement to slide back into the water without getting stranded. This technique is so dangerous and so precise that young orcas spend months learning it under the supervision of older pod members before they are allowed to attempt it alone. Scientists have a name for this kind of behavior. They call it cultural transmission, the passing of learned knowledge from one generation to the next through teaching rather than genetics. Only 3 groups of animals on Earth do this with the complexity that orcas do: humans, certain primates, and orcas. Everything you have just seen, the great white shark fleeing, the coordinated hunting, the generational knowledge, was the orca operating at maybe half of what it is actually capable of. Because the great white shark is not the most impressive thing the orca has ever hunted. The blue whale is the largest animal that has ever existed on Earth. Not the largest animal alive right now. The largest animal in the entire history of life on this planet. 100 feet long. 200 tons. Its heart is the size of a small car. Its arteries are wide enough for a human to crawl through. Every other predator in the ocean, including the great white shark, gives the blue whale complete and total space. Nothing hunts it. Nothing challenges it. Nothing even approaches it, except the orca. Off the coast of California in 2019, a research team witnessed something that had never been properly documented before. A pod of orcas began hunting an adult blue whale in open ocean. What followed was not a quick attack. It was not a single strike. It was a 6-hour military operation carried out with a level of coordination that left the research team completely silent on their boat. The orcas divided into groups. Some positioned themselves directly in front of the blue whale, blocking its path forward. Others attacked from both sides simultaneously. And when a blue whale attempted to dive deep to escape, a group of orcas positioned themselves directly below it, pushing it back up toward the surface, preventing it from getting the deep water escape it needed. They worked in shifts. When one group tired, another group rotated in to take their place. The blue whale, 200 tons of the most massive animal that has ever lived, could not shake them, could not escape them, could not outlast them. After 6 hours it was over. The lead researcher on the boat that day had spent 30 years studying ocean predators. She said she had never in her career witnessed anything that came close to what she saw that afternoon. No other predator in the history of this ocean has ever successfully hunted a blue whale. The orca does it with patience, coordination, and a level of intelligence that science is still trying to fully understand. The great white shark ran. The blue whale could not escape. And now the third ocean giant. The sperm whale. That if the blue whale is the largest animal that has ever lived, the sperm whale is the most battle-tested. It has the largest brain of any animal ever to exist on Earth. It dives 7,000 feet into complete darkness, where no light has ever reached. It produces the loudest sound of any animal on the planet, 230 decibels, loud enough to stun prey from a distance without touching it. It has been documented fighting giant squids in the deepest parts of the ocean, where no human has ever seen. Scars from those battles cover its entire body like a map of every fight it has ever survived. Every predator in the ocean avoids the sperm whale. Every predator except one. Orcapods target sperm whale calves with a strategy so precise and so ruthless that marine biologists who have witnessed it describe it as the most calculated hunting behavior they have ever seen in any animal on Earth. The pod surrounds the mother and calf together first. Then they separate. Some orcas keep the mother occupied, circling her, pressuring her, forcing her attention in multiple directions at once. While the others isolate the calf and move it further and further from its mother until the distance is too great for her to close. The mother sperm whale is 4 times the size of any individual orca. Her tail alone could kill an orca with a single strike. And she knows what is happening. Scientists have recorded mother sperm whales producing distress calls during these attacks that have been heard by other sperm whales miles away. Other adults sometimes arrive to help. They form a defensive circle around the calf with their tails facing outward, a formation called a rosette, trying to protect it. But it is almost never enough. Not one documented case exists of a sperm whale successfully defending its calf against a coordinated orca pod attack. Not 1.3 ocean giants. 3 encounters. 3 outcomes that never changed. So the question is why? Why does the orca never lose? Not sometimes. Not usually. Never. What is built into this animal that makes it physically and mentally impossible for anything in the ocean to beat it? The answer comes down to 3 things, and none of them are size. The first is intelligence. The orca brain contains a structure called the paralimbic lobe. No other ocean predator has this structure developed to the degree the orca has it. Scientists believe this lobe gives the orca a level of emotional intelligence and social awareness that sits closer to humans and great apes than to any other marine animal. It does not just think. It understands the animals around it. It reads their behavior. It anticipates their next move before they make it. That is not predator instinct. That is strategic thinking. The second is speed. The orca moves through water at 35 miles per hour. The great white shark, the second fastest large predator in the ocean, reaches a maximum speed of 25 miles per hour. The orca is not just faster than its prey. It is faster than everything that could theoretically threaten it. There is no ocean predator alive that can outrun an orca once it has decided to close the distance. The third is coordination. No ocean predator on Earth hunts the way an orca pod hunts. Sharks that move in groups do not coordinate. They compete. Each shark acts for itself. An orca pod acts as a single unit. 40 individuals moving with one shared intention, one shared strategy, and decades of practice technique behind every decision. The combined intelligence of a 40-member orca pod functioning as one organism is something the ocean has never produced in any other form. And nothing that has ever lived in the sea has found an answer to it.In all of recorded ocean history. Not one documented case exists of an orca losing a fight. Not to a great white shark. Not to a blue whale. Not to a sperm whale. Not to anything that has ever lived in this ocean or any other. The ocean is 3.8 billion years old. In all that time, it has produced creatures beyond imagination. Animals that grew to the size of buildings. Animals that could swallow other predators whole. Animals that carried enough electricity to stop a human heart. Animals that hunted in complete darkness at the bottom of the deepest places on Earth. And in 3.8 billion years of trying, it produced exactly one animal that nothing else has ever beaten. Not the biggest. Not the heaviest. Not the oldest. Not the most armored. Not the most venomous. The smartest. And that is the part that should stay with you long after this video ends. Because every other apex predator on this planet earned its position through size or speed or venom or armor. The orca earned its position through something that every other ocean predator still has no answer for. It thinks.